What's up, y'all? This is Stacey from H Blues Words. So some pretty sad news today regarding Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has really been going through it for many years. She's battled addiction. Her marriage ended, and was a whole public thing about that. Her husband allegedly had an affair and had a child outside of wedlock, and she's dealt with health issues like Graves' disease for many years. She has lymphedema, I believe, which swells up your legs. And, just a lot of different things she's dealt with. The loss of her mother. Her mother passed away, I believe, a couple of years ago. The loss of her show due to allegedly just her dealing with a lot of private battles like addiction and different things like that. But today it has been revealed that Wendy is now dealing with aphasia and dementia, which is a similar condition that Bruce Willis has. Now, with aphasia, what that does is it affects your language skills, your ability to talk. Eventually, I guess it just, you may not just have that ability, which is crazy if you think about it, because we're talking about Wendy Williams, a woman who's known for her gift of gab and, just being so witty and quick with it. And she's the queen of all media, as she says, and telling it like it is, or say it like you mean it. Sorry, that's what she used to say. Say it like you mean it. She's this icon in the talk space, first radio, and then she moved to television. So to think that she's losing that ability to speak is just extremely sad. And then, of course, with dementia, we're talking about the loss of your memory. So, this was tough news today regarding Wendy Williams. Many of us are fans of hers. I've had the pleasure of at least being in her presence a couple of times, and I guess I could say I've somewhat met her. I attended her show from the beginnings when her talk show from the beginnings when it first started, before it even became nationwide, when they were just testing it out. I was an audience member, and I remember standing up and wanting to share my comment on one of her stories. And if you remember, on her talk show, she always felt like her audience was also her co-host. So, she wanted to hear our thoughts on certain topics. And then when I got up, I had on my dress, and all that kind of stuff. And Wendy, she's going to speak her mind. And so she quickly said to me, "Oh, okay, MC Light in a dress." That's what she called me, MC Light. And then when I went back a second time, I think by the second time I went, she became nationwide. She had Omarosa on, actually, as a guest. So it's quite a long time ago. This was, again, still the beginnings of her talk show. But she was nationwide by this time. So she had Omarosa on, and she saw me in the audience. This time I didn't have the guts to say anything, because Wendy will just say anything that comes out her mouth, right? But she kind of pointed at me during a commercial break. She's like, "You're an MC Light chick, right? You're the MC Light chick." And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. So I guess to Wendy Williams, I'm the MC Light chick, which I'm cool with. I mean, MC Light is also an icon in the entertainment industry and the hip hop game. So I'll take that, Wendy. Thank you very much. But I will say also, when I met her, she would come out again and talk with her audience during the breaks. It was just always a lot of fun. And I actually was a part of some of the conversations that she was having with her audience members. And I just remember she was so beautiful in person, like just gorgeous skin, just a beautiful woman. And I know that people have said that to her, saying, "Oh, wow, you look so much better in person." I think Simon Cowell said that to her once when she was walking through the airport. Someone said that to her. She's like, I really don't know if I should take that as a compliment, but it is a compliment. She really glows in person. Her skin was flawless. So, my heart just goes out to Wendy Williams and her family. Her family is really struggling right now to see her. Her niece was actually just on The View, and they were talking about how they're really having issues with her guardian, who has really just kind of taken over Wendy's life, I guess, because, she's dealing with all of these neurological issues. And the family apparently can receive calls from her, but they cannot call her. So they can't tell her if something is wrong. Like apparently her father may have had some medical issues recently. I mean, he's in his 90s, and they couldn't call and tell her about that. So it's a pretty tough time right now for the Williams family. And my heart goes out also to her son, who has to also deal with this. Just hopefully he's getting all the support he can have. I know her documentary is coming out on Lifetime. That's coming out this coming weekend. And some people have criticisms on it. They feel like they're exploiting Wendy, but really Wendy was actually the one who wanted to do this documentary. She has a 3-picture deal with Lifetime, and this is the 3rd picture for that. And she just feels like she wants to tell her story, even though she's going through some health challenges right now. She wants to be the one to tell her story. And her family also wants this story out because they want to call out the issues with this guardianship. So again, my thoughts and prayers are with the Wendy Williams family. And wow, just such an icon. I had hoped that Wendy would return and do perhaps a podcast. I was really thinking that maybe her struggles were more with addiction and alcohol, but it looks like it's just a lot more serious. And like her son said during the trailer of this upcoming documentary, maybe, just maybe, Wendy just needs to relax and just rest a bit. She's worked enough, as her son has said. But again, my heart goes out to the Wendy Williams family. Now, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish has been hitting the news. She's received some backlash for some comments she made about her trip to Israel. Some people didn't like what she said or whatever. She did a live on her Instagram, and this is a quick clip of what she had to say. It was a 13-minute video, but here's a quick clip of some of what she had to say.
On my way to Israel. I'm going without you, I'm sorry. I'm going to go meet my future man out there. I'm out. Going to the Holy Land. I suggest you all do it. Why go? Why not go? I might come back a little Jewish baby. See, I feel like I can't believe everything I see on the internet. I can't believe everything everybody's saying to me on the internet. I need to go see for myself. I'm one of those people.
So yeah, as you can hear in the clip, she was feeling good about herself and excited to go to Israel. But some people really had a problem with this because, as we all know, there's a war going on with Israel and Palestine, and there's just wars going on really across this world. And people just really had a problem with her really making light, it seemed, of that situation. Now, Tiffany has responded to the backlash, and she says that, pretty much similar to what she said in that video, that she is going to Israel because she just wants to see these things for herself. And she emphasized, that she is a woman who's out here really mostly on her own. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has a team that works with her, but she told TMZ how she's really, for the most part, on her own. She doesn't have a husband, but she feels like she's showing courage as a woman by going out here and really seeking answers. So I guess that's the core of what it is she's trying to do. Now, with me, I'm not trying to attack Tiffany. I've heard that Tiffany is a good person, but maybe in this situation, she showed poor judgment or poor timing. Because with comedy is defined by some to be tragedy plus timing. I mean, the best comedians can make us laugh at some of the hardest subjects or the most tragic subjects. So perhaps that's what she was trying to do. I mean, she was on her live, so she was talking to her audience. I think someone said something to her, and then she responded in a joking manner, and then it just blew up into her joking about her trip to Israel. But the reality is, even though, yes, comedy is tragedy plus timing, you have to know your timing. And maybe this was just not the right time to joke on something like what's happening in Israel and Palestine. But, some people are ready to cancel her. I'm not out here ready to cancel Tiffany. I don't think we need to always cancel people for maybe some mistakes they make in terms of what they say online. Now, of course, there's bigger mistakes that people make that maybe should require them to be canceled. But for the most part, I hope that we as a culture can really stop this mindset of immediately wanting to cancel people. Let's give people more grace. Let's allow people to evolve. Let's allow people to make mistakes and just move forward and become better people. Tiffany is a comedian. She's not always going to be funny. She's not always going to hit the mark, but I believe her heart is in the right place. And yeah, that's my thought on that. But share your comments below regarding the Tiffany Haddish story and also Wendy Williams. What are your thoughts on that? Well, that's my show for today. I am Stacey Brewer, and this is H Blues Word. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time. Peace.